Guys, this man, and this is we're gonna transition to this other topic, and I'm gonna start with a clip. As much as we're talking about the GOAT, and Mahomes' elevated play, and we read off all his stats are crazy, and he's seven straight AFC Championship appearances, you know, possibly about to three-peat. I think he's gonna three-peat. We'll get into that next episode. Probably will give you like a preview or something. But there's people who seem to believe that he's falling off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? In terms of his production, I'm gonna play this clip from Skip Bayless, man. Skip is in a little bit of hot water, but that's neither here nor there. I want to hear your take on this after we do this. If Patrick Mahomes is falling off, here we go.
Okay, here comes the Super Bowl. Here comes Patrick Mahomes again. But has anybody out there but me noticed that Patrick Mahomes is no longer Patrick Mahomes? That super duper star who took the NFL by storm in his first 5 years, by bombs away storm, everybody go long and I'll throw it 80 yards for touchdown after touchdown. Storm, storm, storm. Patrick Mahomes run is what he used to be. That guy is gone, along with much of the splash and the flash. Tell me I'm wrong about this. This guy, this Mahomes, he plays shockingly boring football. This Mahomes has turned into the ultimate dink and dunk artist. Tell me I'm wrong. No NFL quarterback gets rid of the ball quicker than Patrick Mahomes. Instead of high-rolling hundreds, trying to hit the casino jackpot the way he used to, especially in his first couple of years, this Mahomes just quietly and patiently plays the dollar slots. And it's not like he's 40 now and conceding to age. Nope. Patrick Mahomes is playing like a grandpa at the ripe old age of 29. He's just 29. Career low stats this season across the board for Patrick Mahomes. And I've thrown this out there before. Over the last 2 years, he has thrown a bunch of interceptions. Over the last 2 years, he has 25. That's second in the entire league to my guy, Baker Mayfield.
So he's saying that his production is declined. I'm gonna play one more clip just to give us some context, because some people think Skip is a hater, and Skip is a hater. And he's been hating on Patrick Mahomes for years when he was on Undisputed. Shannon was kind of the Mahomes, advocator, and Skip was kind of the detractor. But let me just play this clip by BT, and then I want to get your analysis. Here we go.
I know. He doesn't make a mistake. Like you can't beat him. You can't beat him. That's the point. Costos is right. Like, you might as well join them. They don't get beat. It's been 3 freaking years. Nobody can beat them.
Well, I mean, they may have beaten them if a couple of calls went a different way, and I know we'll get to that, but there were obviously some bad spots, some situations that clearly hurt Kansas City. Yeah, and it really is amazing. Like, Mahomes is still fairly young. If you look at him, I use like the young Jordan analogy. Like when Jordan came in, remember he put 60-something up against the Celtics in that playoff series in the mid-'80s. Like that, he was like a young Jordan. He was doing things, the no looks, he's a little quicker, maybe a little lighter on his feet. He still has the rocket, but he was just putting up stupid video game numbers. He's not that anymore. But you're right. When he's got to make that throw and thread the needle and move the sticks and break somebody's back, with a 12 or 13 yard run, he's got to respond, get his team to the end zone. He really is he's awesome.
All right. So
that was wild, BT. Yo, Jay, you got to admit, there is a little bit of decline in terms of definitely pizzazz. We don't see the around the back shit no more, the shovel passes, and I'm going to bring up Pro Football Focus after you're done. The deep passes down the field have definitely declined, and there's a bunch of stats that he's declined in. Could it be a mixture of the receivers, the style of play? What do you think, in your opinion? Is Patrick Mahomes slightly falling off a little bit? We know he makes the big play, but is he falling off a little bit?
Well, I mean, listen, football years are different than regular years.
Yeah.
I know you're like, he's only 29. he's played a lot of football.
Yeah, it's like dog years.
Yeah, he's played a lot of football. That's first.
Yeah.
So some of that shit, you know,
Going
like
deep in the postseason, yeah.
But yeah, when you know when you go to some of the imaginative plays that he was doing in real time,
Yeah.
those things were through necessity. Those things were through
Yeah.
athleticism
Yeah.
and just the game comes to you. I only say this right. There's and I'll use this. When you first come into anything that you're gonna do, anything of record, you come into it, you're unconsciously incompetent. You have no idea what you don't know, right? When you come into the NFL, you're unconsciously incompetent. That's just the way it works. You got there, and it is what it is. Then, as you start to play a little bit more, you become consciously incompetent, meaning you know what you don't know, which is where, like, maybe your second year. Your third year, you're consciously competent, and you're like, yo, I can do this shit, and it is what it is. Then you become unconsciously competent, meaning you have no idea what the fuck you know. And that's when you saw Patrick Mahomes get around the back passes, the no looks and all the other shit. Then you become the next level, which is where he got to, which is where the Michael Jeffrey Jordans and those guys sit, and that's the unconsciously competent. They have no idea what the fuck they can do. They just go in and just light it the fuck up. Now he's saying to himself, I don't have those weapons to try those types of things. I could fuck around and get myself hurt. So he's got to change the game a little bit based on what he has around him and based on where he's at in his career. That's what you're seeing. It's not a decline. I'm sure he could probably still get busy. He could still fucking launch it, rocket arm and all those other things. He just doesn't have the opportunity as he used to. And some of it, of course, is the mental mortality creeping in and saying to himself, why? I can do it this way without putting myself in risk.
What about the weapons? The lack of weapons. Hollywood Brown is a decent receiver. I like Worthy. They traded up to get him with Buffalo. I wasn't sure about him in the beginning of the season, but the more and more I watch him, I think he's going to be a stud. I think next year he's going to have a breakout fucking year. He's one of the fastest receivers in the league. So that's good, but he's still developing. And there's been a lot of guys, you have Juju in there. You got D-Hop. D-Hop's not really being used. D-Hop's a little bit older. He's still a good route runner. But do you think the interchanging of the weapons and the different personnel and everything, do you think that plays a part in it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Listen, comfort has a lot to do. Football is a comfort sport. You have to be comfortable with the people you're throwing the football to. You got to be comfortable with the people that are blocking for you.
Yeah.
You have to be comfortable with the running back, knowing that he's going to be there to receive the handoff and things it's a comfort level type of a game more than any other sport. You have to rely on those other people. Basketball, yeah, you hope that he fucking, like you pass the rock, you hope he hits it, right? You hope that the screen is there or whatever. But if a motherfucker misses a block, it could be over for you. You may not be seen ever again. That could be the end of the career or the end of the night or the end of the season. So it's so many things that have to come into play, and that's at the blink of an eye. So you have to change your game based on what you have around you. When you have full confidence in the O-line, full confidence in those receivers coming out of breaks, you got a Worthy that, he's super fast, but the guy's coming out of breaks late, right? Yeah. You got super fast, but
route running not up to par yet. Yeah.
Not there.
Yeah.
I can't do a Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning thing and go into a fucking into a dome stadium in the dark and just throw motherfucking and you're gonna
throw it to the spot, not to the receiver.
Not to the receiver, right?
That's
not happening yet.
I know the receiver's gonna be there.
Yeah, but so physically, I don't think any of his attributes have started to decline at 29 years old. Maybe some of it has a little bit, having played a lot of football, but I still think that the ability is there. I just think that the trust and that the supporting cast force you to have to alter your game in order to accommodate, one, career longevity, and two, winning the football game.